In the UK, ministers and military chiefs have concluded a briefing on the options open for military action against Syria. The meeting of Britain's National Security Council comes ahead of an emergency recall of Parliament. Legislators will vote on what measures to take. Now, this follows the presentation of the UK's draft resolution to the UN Security Council, which seeks authorization for necessary measures to protect civilians. Richard Bestic reports from London.
British Prime Minister David Cameron says Britain has a responsibility to punish what he calls the morally indefensible use of chemical weapons by what he's confident was the Syrian government.
Now, of course, any action we take or others take would have to be legal, would have to be proportionate, it would have to be specifically to deter and degrade the future use of chemical weapons.
It's here, though, Mr Cameron will be required to make the case for a moral stance, the British Parliament. And legislators are cautious. The view among some in the UK that Tony Blair poisoned the well in 2003 when he committed British troops to the invasion of Iraq. As ministers and military chiefs gathered for a crisis meeting of the UK's National Security Council, they'll be aware of an opinion poll in Britain's most widely read newspaper, The Sun, showing among the population a 2-to-1 opposition against military action.
I think Tony Blair made a lot of mistakes.
Not just past history, but also the morality of what we're doing, that we shouldn't be embarking on something which we don't think is right, and I suppose following the rules of just war, that's got an ending to it as well.
I just think we've stepped in too many times and there must be another approach.
And the British government's got to be persuasive, both here locally and internationally, because while the moral high ground may have a feel-good factor, military action requires justification in law. And securing international agreement and cooperation on that could prove difficult. Richard Bestic, CCTV, London.